Hey, everybody. Arthur here with another one-on-one interview with an awesome guy that everybody knows and should know. And if you don't know, you will know after this video. He is been on my channel before, and we got Zach Oat of Diamond Select Toys. So go ahead, Zach. Go ahead and introduce yourself, or tell us about yourself, I guess.
My name is Zach Oat. I'm the marketing supervisor, which means I talk to people on the chat rooms and on the forums, and I do interviews with press, like Mr. Art here, and I do just anything, a lot of writing, a lot of catalog writing and packaging writing and stuff like that. And yeah, getting ready for San Diego and Celebration and what we did for Celebration, things like that. I've been working for the company for Diamond Select Toys for about 11 years, and it's something different every day, and I enjoy it. That's about it.
11 years. That's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm surprised they've kept me around this long.
You're definitely good at what you do.
Oh,
You've definitely been doing interviews with a lot of YouTubers, and just in general, you've always been that. I'm at a convention and talking about the product, and you could tell that you're actually passionate about the product, which is really nice. Because there's a lot of people that do jobs that really don't like their jobs or what their jobs make. So
I'm very lucky to have had a series of jobs, a short series of jobs, only about 3 since I graduated. That have all been very much in my wheelhouse and things I enjoy.
Nice. So speaking of Star Wars Celebration, I know you were there, and you guys had a nice, your booth looked really nice. How was that experience?
It was good. It was only my second convention back, and my first convention I flew to since the pandemic. We did New York Comic Con last year. That was good. But this was a good show. I haven't been to a Celebration in like 20 years, not since Indianapolis, and it was good. I didn't get to walk around too much and see everything, all the different booths, but a lot of the best stuff walked by on the floor. People in costume and animatronic robots, and there was one guy who had a probe droid. He was just driving around, awesome. They had a big TIE fighter there on display, some costumes. I got to meet a lot of celebrities because we got some signatures for stuff that we're going to give away. So, I met for instance, Moff Gideon from Mandalorian, and Giancarlo Esposito, and Katie Sackhoff, Bo-Katan from Mandalorian. And it was a lot of fun. In the evening, we got to take some time off. During the day, it was busy, a lot of ringing up the cash register and the occasional interview. But at night, we'd go out and get some dinner. It's a good time.
Nice. You need to start bringing like a life-size cardboard cutout of yourself, so you can actually like place it there, so you can go and experience and check out all these little like all the stuff at the conventions.
So I did get to go around and shop. I had a friend who sells like vintage Star Wars figures, so I went over and I bought another one from him. I always buy one when I see him at the shows, so I'm getting a small collection of vintage Star Wars, and I bought some pops for my kids, and a little bit of shopping.
Well, you actually, if I'm not mistaken, I saw on Instagram somebody hooked you up with like a childhood type of figure you had as a kid.
When I was a kid, I only had one Star Wars figure, and it was Admiral Akbar. This isn't even the one I had. I bought this a couple conventions ago from my friend, and it was the only Star Wars figure I had. I was born in 1977, so I don't think I actually saw any of the Star Wars movies in the theater. I didn't see them until they re-released them, and then I saw the prequels and stuff like that. But so I rebought him, and I told that story to the guys at Rebel Scum, and they disappeared for a little while, and they came back with a jumbo, the 12-inch tall. I'll get up and get it. It's hanging up there, Admiral Akbar, which is amazing. I don't even know how much it goes for now, but they said, here you go. This is for you. So that was very, very nice of them. And it has a place of honor on my wall now, which is funny because it's a Gentle Giant Limited product, and I work for Gentle Giant Limited now. But it came out probably, I don't know how long ago it came out. I don't know how long they've been doing them, maybe 10 years. It's been a while. So, it was a good show for swag, definitely.
So that means that you're going to definitely start getting all those bigger scale Star Wars figures that you guys are going to be releasing. You got to add it to General Akbar, because it's same lineup, right?
Yeah, we still make them. The next one that just arrived in our warehouse actually is the concept Darth Vader, based on Ralph McQuarrie's artwork. Because we started doing figures that weren't part of that original lineup, the original Kenner lineup. So we did. We're doing concept Luke. We're going to do more concept figures. We're doing Darth Maul. We're going to do Ahsoka Tano. We got a lot in the works. Yeah, I'm probably not going to start collecting them because they take up a lot of space. But Admiral, I'm fine with Admiral Akbar for now. But we got some cool ones coming up. I might have to think about, like our pilot Luke. He's going to have a removable helmet, and Han Solo in the Stormtrooper outfit again, removable helmet. Grand Admiral Thrawn, who I'm not even a huge fan of Thrawn, but he's really cool. He wears a white suit and he's blue. Right. There's a lot of Thrawn fans out there. I didn't realize how many people loved Grand Admiral Thrawn, but we had a lot of people asking about the figure when we showed it at the celebration.
Nice. And we got some people in the chat, Judd saying hola, Trevor McGuire. Trevor did say he was just messing with his Select Destroyer yesterday. He loves that figure.
That's a great figure.
It is definitely. And then I guess here's one question, even though I was sort of planning questions towards the end, but Laser Pants says, does Diamond Select do all their sculpting in-house, or do they outsource some stuff?
We do have some in-house sculptors at the Gentle Giant Limited offices in Glendale in California. But most of our sculptors are actually freelance. So guys like Rocco Tartamella, Joe Mena, I believe Gene St. Jean is still freelance for us. I'm not sure if for a while he was under exclusive contract with us. Claiborne Moore still does stuff for us every now and again. Oh God, there's so many other guys that I could name, but a lot of people who work for us, and most of them are freelance. Yeah.
Okay. We got Brandon in here saying yo. All right. So didn't want to ignore them too long. But all right. So, I mean, Star Wars Celebration was a success, which was awesome, which could sort of lead into what I am about to show right now. Because they're mixed in here, because you did do some figure photography when you were there and traveling. So they are mixed in. We won't start in the row of how I have it in the folder, but we'll go with this. Let me get it all ready. I go to full screen.
I have no idea what he's going to show. He's going to show something.
I'm showing stuff. It's appropriate, everybody. It's appropriate. All right.
I keep my Instagram pretty clean.
Let's go this route. There we go.
There you go.
So I went through your Instagram like a creepy stalker, because you were actually, you've been pumping out some figure photography that I thought was really awesome. And a lot of my friends, fellow collectors, are into figure photography. Some people starting into it, some people been doing it for a long time. So I figured, why not? Let's have somebody that's been working for the company, that releases figures, that's actually doing it all. So I picked some of my favorites, and there's quite a bit, everybody. So we're going to go
went back pretty far. This is an old one.
Yes. I went through very far. Like I have, I think 30 photos. Yeah, I'm telling you. So I really like how this whole line that Diamond did with the Lord of the Rings. Amazing line. And
I'm happy with it. I think it's been going pretty good.
And I did see in some of the questions asked Diamond Select that you guys do. Somebody was asking if we're getting more of the fellowship, and that is in the works, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. We're going to be we're working on Series 5. We're hoping to reveal it maybe at San Diego. I'm not sure how far along it is, but we had a little bit of a pause in the middle. Just straightening some stuff out with Warner Brothers, but I think we're good to go, and we're going to try to finish. We're going to working on finishing the Fellowship. We've got like 5 or 6 more lines planned,
and then you're going to bust out like this giant Balrog and Treebeard that you guys are going to release, right? No.
We've talked about some big figures, and we haven't talked about horses. We haven't talked about Build a Pony or anything like that, but or Shadow.
One of the questions,
But we have talked about doing some bigger characters, so we'll have to see how that goes. No more Build-A-Figures, but we've talked about doing some other like bigger statues or gallery dioramas or something like that. We'll have to see. The cost on some of those bigger characters, if we want to do them anywhere near scale, is pretty expensive.
So then we got very awesome Iron Giant shots. Like, again, went back pretty far, but still some amazing pieces you guys have made, and then some amazing shots out of what you were doing with that.
Yeah, I love this figure. He's got the light up eyes. It's very cool.
And the little Hogarth that's magnetized.
Yeah, magnetized Hogarth sits on his shoulder.
And then that good old Gambit. And again, it's like I like what you do with your photos of sometimes you're just I don't know if like you're just finding stuff like backdrops or you're using like a monitor or
we have a lot of stuff that we've printed out for backgrounds at the convention at the New York Toy Fair. So we'll have a shelf and then we'll have a printed background, just to show it off. I think this might have been for like It Chapter 2 or something like that. So okay. I just thought it would make a good Morlock tunnel or something like that. But yeah, most of the backgrounds that you see are just ones that we had printed out for different licenses.
That works. Laser Pants says, do a Zach Lab crowdfunding for a Balrog.
We've talked about doing crowdfunding. We probably wouldn't go. We'd probably do it like like Hasbro does it. Just do it through our own website. But it's something we've definitely talked about.
We just got some good shots of just some amazing figures.
Yeah,
like, that looks like is that Danger Room background piece?
Yeah,
that's Danger Room.
Danger Room, yeah. I use a Danger Room a lot.
And this is one of the gallery pieces, right?
Yeah, he came with that wall, so I didn't have to do much there. I just had to put the city behind him.
But but even putting the city behind it, you even did the lighting properly. So it's like just the way of doing it. It's like, yeah, it's just a background of lighting, but that's how much you can take a gallery piece or a figure. But this one stood out a lot. I think you nailed this one.
No, thank you.
Another Iron Giant and Hogarth. And here's one of the Star Wars Celebration ones that you're taking.
Yeah, I carried them around with me everywhere I went.
They're nice figures.
Yeah, that one was at the airport.
Yeah, there's a couple I think I got it from the airport and some at Celebration. And then we got it also, you've always been a huge fan of mini mates.
Yes, I love mini mates.
And I thought that was cool because you don't really see many people taking, their Legos or mini mates or anything like that, like stuff like this outside to do outdoor shots with them.
Yeah, most of the mini mates photography I see, and there's some amazing mini mate photographers. Most of them work on small dioramas, but I like shooting outside whenever I can. I take the kids to the park all the time. And I'm like, all right, go play on the playground. I'm going to be over here in the woods taking pictures of toys. And the other parents are like, what is he doing?
Hey, it works, though. You have time to do both. Then this must be at Celebration?
That was at the LaGuardia Airport in New York. They recently redid the whole thing, and it's got this big, fancy hanging spherical sculpture hanging from the ceiling. It reminded me of the Death Star, so I tried to get it in there.
Now, how has like when you're doing these photos in the airport, how was it? Were people looking at you weird or?
I'll be honest with you. I live outside the city, and I wasn't sure I was going to make it there for my early flight, like 7 a.m. So I just went in like at midnight the night before, and I hung out there in the airport for like 4 hours until the counter opened, and then I just checked all my bags and stuff. So I was there from like 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. and I was just taking pictures of stuff. So it was all empty. I didn't have to worry about people walking in my shot or anything like that.
It's a smart way of getting to airports early and everything like that, because airports are crazy. And we got another gallery piece, and I see you do a lot of like you put the background behind it, and then you mess with some lighting.
Yeah, you can tell some of my backgrounds are a little curved because I kind of wrap them around the figure a little bit. That one is the Ghostbusters Firehouse. So
I didn't even realize that. There's more Lord of the Rings ones. I think it looks like with a lot of these, you had a lot of fun with the Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
they're a lot of fun. That's at the base of a tree. But I'm always trying to find like stone settings to, stone steps to shoot them on, and rough terrain. yeah, it's that park. I spent a lot of time in that park.
And then we got the Karate Kid. I thought that was a really cool shot. How long did it take you to get him to balance?
It took me a little while. I'm bummed with this shot because I didn't do the arms exactly right. But I just brought a rod from a closet and I just stuck it in the sand. And I tried to get him to stand on top of it, and it took a little while, but I think it eventually stood. Still not that happy with it, but it's pretty good for what it is.
It's still a good shot. I think it looks good. And then we got you busting out the Aang piece. Yeah,
love that piece.
And then is that like a little stream behind it?
Yeah, it was a frozen rocky stream in the middle of winter near Sledding Hill where I took the kids. I'm always ignoring the kids when I take them.
If you need something, yell really loud.
Yeah.
And we got the Mini Mates Joes. It's a great shot too.
Yeah, I love the Mini Mates. That was a Spider-Man rooftop, I think, from Homecoming, I think, possibly.
The good old Chewbacca.
Yeah, the steps in my house, which are crumbling and need to be replaced.
And see, you would never expect that stuff from the background at all. Like I'm looking at it like, all right, it's some stone and some snow and, you know.
Airport again. That was in Anaheim, leaving celebration.
Got some Boba Fett ones.
That's a really cool set I got from, I want to say, Extreme Sets. I'm pretty sure. My friend Bob OF and Mac hooked me up with those. So I use that background a lot for Star Wars stuff. A lot of fun.
Got Golem, the Deluxe Golem.
Yeah, that background was a mountain background, but I just turned it upside down so it would look like the roof of a cave.
Okay. You're getting creative with those backgrounds.
Well, I didn't have any good cave backgrounds. I forget what license it was for. That one's in the same park, but it was. I love that scene where they're like, "Let's go hunt some orc," and then it's just them running for like 15 minutes. So that was just them supposed to be running after the orcs, trying to save Sam and Mary and Pippin.
Yeah, that was a really good scene. Actually got to see Strider all looking for his, doing his tracking stuff that he's really good at. It's like he picked up the pin. He was like, oh, they went this way, and I know how many orcs are running this way. Just put my ear to the ground. And the angry Iron Giant. I thought it was a good shot. Fits that sort of like era of when like the movie was made.
Yeah, I love that movie. I saw it in the theaters in 1999, all by myself. I was crying. It's a great movie.
Definitely one in my collection. And then we start getting into some of these gallery pieces where you start looks like you're adding like rocks and stuff to the around the gallery piece. It looks like.
Yeah, it came with some rocks underneath it, but I added some rocks and some fake grass and stuff like that. Really nice background. Must have been for Lord of the Rings, I think.
We got Hawkeye.
That one I had to Photoshop a little bit. Yeah,
really?
I put two of those Spider-Man backgrounds together, and I kind of had to Photoshop just some of the seams out. But I love Hawkeye. I love all Hawkeye. Movie Hawkeye, comic Hawkeye.
There's that Boba Fett and.
Yeah, pretty happy with that one. That's that same set there. That same Extreme set. I like the select Star Wars figures too.
There's another company. I can't remember what the name was. My buddy Josh Cox and his group of like Toy Talk collectors and stuff like that. They do figure photography, and they have somebody that they've gotten like dios from there. This style a little bit. Can't remember who it was, but that's what it reminds me of, and they're awesome. Just the amount of detail you get into it, and you have to like sort of do double takes to look at it because you're like, wait, it's only 2D, except for the tunnel. I know the tunnel's 3D.
I don't have many of these sets. I think I've only got I've got an Asylum set, and I've got, which I haven't used in a long time, but I need to break it out again. And I've got a martial arts dojo set. They're all pretty cool.
Easy to store away too.
Yes.
This is a great shot as well. I like how you did the lighting on Frodo. And then that same, now I'm looking at the background. I'm like, okay, so it's upside down mountain. But it does have that whole cave vibe. And again, you're busting out the real rocks.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So
that golem, the deluxe golem, comes with a really cool tall rock formation that he can stand on. I think I can even see a peg in there now that I can look at it. But he comes with a great rock that you can crouch him on with his ring and all that. And the clear Frodo came with the San Diego set.
Yeah, that was the last year San Diego exclusive, right?
Yes, last year.
It's more mini mate stuff. Good old Weapon X. Yeah, your park has some good stuff. And then this was an awesome shot too.
I'm pretty happy with how that one came out. Just a crazy space cloud background that we had, and just sat it on top of a light and put another light on top of it. And I have like a couple small lights that friends have gifted me. One friend, Bobo F and Mac, who got me the sets, he sent me a couple, and I want to say maybe Rocco the Great might have sent me one or two. Yeah, I got some good friends in the photography field.
Yeah, I picked up myself, like for when I do reviews and do some of my shots, I got like a little like Ulanzi little
cool
RGB light.
Yeah, most of mine are Ulanzis too. I got this one here.
It's got like this one has like magnets and stuff like that onto it. So I just
they're all magnetic. They all stick to my lamp.
Yep, that's exactly what I do. But yeah, that shot was just amazing. And then we got more Lord of the Rings stuff, just again with the snow, and you just chose the right spot, it was perfect outside for these shots.
Yeah, this is on a frozen lake near my house, and this is from Instagram, so I used filters. I used a one of those not vignette, tilt shift or whatever, where I blurred out the figures in front and back. I wanted it to look like Sauron was seeing him, specifically, like
focusing on Frodo.
Focusing on Frodo, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that do like the figure photography, they're always using filters and Photoshop and stuff, and so many layers to their photos. So
yeah, the one thing I don't do is add like lasers and stuff. Luckily, a lot of the Star Wars ones come with laser attachments, so that's cool.
Yeah, not many. Nobody else is doing laser attachments. Got another. Wait a second. This is that mountain background.
That's the mountains. right side up now.
Nice little gallery piece.
Yeah, that's a good one. Not one of our best sellers. It was kind of slow to sell because it was for Ragnarok, and it didn't capture his like Gladiator look. Because we developed these way in advance of the movies, and we wanted to do a traditional Thor. But if we'd known how big that movie was going to be and how big his Gladiator look was going to be, we might have gone with something a little different. We did a Hulk for that, and we did a Valkyrie, and the Hulk was definitely in his Gladiator gear. So if he'd been in Gladiator, I think he would have sold better if he was in Gladiator gear. But it's still a really nice traditional Thor for the movies.
How does that work? Like you guys, and I mean, I'm sure this was a lot of companies too. Like, so they sort of give you concept art to deal with, or like how do you guys start working on something before it's officially out, in a sense? Like
they for a lot of the Marvel ones, they sort of give us a breakdown of the plot and tell us what's going to be happening where. A lot of the time we want to know like what sort of environments they're going to be, like hey, we want to do where should we have this character be standing? Like, should we have him standing on rock or on like for Infinity War, we had a ton of dioramas that took place on that planet where they fight. Was it Titan? Where they fight Thanos. So the Thanos is on that set. I think the Iron Spider-Man, the Doctor Strange, they're all on that sort of reddish, landscape littered with mechanical parts. So we have to ask for that stuff. We have to say, well, what does this planet look like, and all that. And then they give us, reference for the costumes that we ask for and reference for the things. But we're all basing it on, what they've told us happens in the movie and what they recommend for the movie. And sometimes, with the way movies get recut and, scenes get dropped out or added in, reshot. it may change. So, maybe we just didn't know how big a deal the Gladiator outfit was going to be. Maybe this is just what we wanted to do. But we try to make it represent the movie as best we can. But that's based on, early information. And sometimes costumes even change, based on, within the context of, the movie being recut or re-edited. So that can lead to some differences.
Then we got Brandon Backlund saying he's loving the Lord of the Rings line. And
great,
then
more
he
to
also
come.
says the Diamond Select Gladiator Hulk from the movie is money. Such a great piece.
Yeah, it's really nice. Really, really nice. That one is one we've done a couple of runs of.
What else do we got here? We got Wolverine. You're getting heavy with the extras on top. Looks like some moss.
Yeah, a lot of fake moss, fake bushes for that one.
But it looks good. And again, one of those, like, it's a 2D background, but it looks like he's coming out from underneath that like tree.
Yeah, it's a cool background. I use it a lot.
And we got the Emperor.
Yeah, it's trickier with the busts. You kind of have to accept that they're busts, and to say, well, it's a bust. You can see the base and all that stuff. It's a really beautiful bust. But I threw in like a crazy Clone Wars background that I add.
Still looks good. I mean, it's like, even if it's a bust form, the way it's darker at the bottom, so you really can't tell, and then how you shine the light right onto it, it's good.
Thank you.
Then here we go. We got the Star Wars actually landed in Celebration.
Yep. I was on the floor when they were setting up.
Yeah. And the way that I just love the Stormtrooper armor in general, just how it reflects. And then when you got them in toy form, they do the same thing with the lighting and stuff like that. You've been watching Obi-Wan?
I have not. I switched from Disney Plus to Netflix a couple months ago so I could catch up on Cobra Kai and watch a couple of movies that had come out on Netflix that I wanted to see. But I'll switch back soon so I can watch Obi-Wan and Ms. Marvel and when Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness comes out, which I think is pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to all those.
That first episode, I'm not going to add spoilers so people don't worry, but that first episode of Miss Marvel was amazing.
Oh, that's great.
To me, like, I didn't care for like Falcon and Winter Soldier, Moon Knight. I wasn't really a fan of, just because it was just like the quality. But the way they did the first episode of Miss Marvel, it gave this era like, you ever seen Better Off Dead?
Oh yeah.
So like that whole genre, that director's type of stuff mixed with some like Scott Pilgrim style, like it was just really well done. And there's a lot of shots that are just one consistent shot. So the camera just followed it through. So these actors and actresses had to act everything almost like perfectly. And I was really impressed. So I'm hoping they can keep that energy going throughout the series, because if they do, it's definitely going to be one of my top 10 Marvel series out there.
That's great. That's great to hear. I wasn't sure, what to expect from the commercials, and I've heard mixed things about Moon Knight, and I've heard pretty good things about Obi-Wan. But I want to see all of them. Nice. I'm a sucker for the MCU. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And then we got a nice little fight scene you set up. I love the makeshift snow.
Yeah, one of my first Marvel comics was like Iron Man 2 something, where he fights Crimson Dynamo and Titanium Man. So I was excited to get both of those in my hands.
Yeah, you guys definitely knock out like your bigger figures like Titanium Man, the Thanos, the MCU Thanos, Juggernaut. I mean, I can go on. Like, you guys knock those out of the park. Like, the Juggernaut to this day is still my favorite Juggernaut figure. Like I have my three main like characters I like is Apocalypse, Venom, and Juggernaut. Those are my three all-time Marvel. So I have like a detolf with like all my Juggernauts in there, and then right in the back, because he's so hulking, is that Juggernaut piece you guys did.
Well, we're working on an Apocalypse, so I'll have to get you one of those. We're going to show it off, I think, at San Diego.
Oh, you guys actually have one built? Last time it was like digital.
We showed artwork at New York Comic Con, and we've had to hold off on revealing it for a little while, but I think we're going to be offering it. I believe it's being painted right now, so it should be ready by San Diego. I don't know if it's going to be solicited by San Diego, but it'll be shown by San Diego, I'm pretty sure.
Do we know how tall?
I want to say it's like 8.5 inches. So he's a little bigger than our 7-inch characters, but he's not like hulking. We didn't want to make him too big. We didn't want him to be like Hulk size. Although I know that sometimes he is depicted that way. I feel like in the more recent X-Men, the ones on Krakoa, I feel like he was depicted as being a lot bigger. But we want to do like a classic Apocalypse where he's not so much bigger, because they did a really good Apocalypse in the original Marvel Legends, but it was a Build-A-Figure, and he was so huge. He was the size of a Sentinel. So we wanted to do one where he was, he could actually have a conversation with the X-Men and tell them how he's going to kill them.
Yeah, I saw that's sort of how I have in my shelf with my Juggernauts. I have my Apocalypse. I have like the little 3 3/4 Apocalypse, and then it goes into the other Apocalypse, and they sort of goes up into that Toy Biz Apocalypse.
Excellent.
So there's room for the Diamond Select one. I know that for a fact. More, see that same mossiness that you're utilizing.
A lot of moss.
It works though. It's not like you just, and that's from like a Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, I think I got it at like Michael's. I want to say they got a nice little grassy section in the middle there. So yeah, I think I got it at Michael's.
And those trees are branches.
Yeah, I took some really thick branches and I turned like a wooden plank upside down. I think it was like a big square, and I nailed through the board into the bottom of the branches. So they would stick. I think I put the nails in first, then I turned it right side up, and I planted all the branches on the thing so they would stick up straight. And those are my trees. I've used them a couple of times.
They look good. I had to like do a double take. I was like, wait, is that part of the background or those standalones? And then we got your mini mate set up right here, which was awesome. Like,
yeah,
I
my
like the blur,
Supreme.
like the blurriness to Cap and Iron Man, which you can still tell who their characters are, and then the focal point. And
yeah, that was just depth of field. That was I didn't do any tricks to that. It was just how they came into focus, being so much closer to the camera.
Nice.
I have a Dr. Spectrum somewhere, but I couldn't find him.
And again, using that Firehouse background.
Yeah,
looks like. But that's great stuff, man. And that's what I've gathered from your Instagram there for a little bit, just because I was, it's a side I feel like people may not see and don't realize that you would do. So I thought I'd share it with everybody.
Thank you very much. And I got to talk about a lot of DST stuff too, so double positive.
Well, of course, I'm not going to be pulling out like pictures of stuff that's not DST. All right, and then we're going to bust into more photos. It's just like a giant photo album today, everybody. Bust this one out. Boom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, so we're going into, these are all, I should be on point with these. These are all SDCC this year reveals, right?
Yes, this one will be at our booth 2607 at San Diego, but I think you can pre-order it on our website now at diamondselecttoys.com.
And I love the whole bronzeness to it. It really looks like something you'd see in like a future Avatar, like it'd be in like a city or something like that.
Yeah, this is supposed to look like a bronze statue. It came out really nice.
And it's basically it's the same one like you had, just repainted, right?
Yeah. We did a traditional Aang in that same pose with the same clouds, and yeah, they just painted him bronze, a couple different shades of bronze. Have like that blue patina for the hair, for the stripe on his head, and then I think the clouds used to be clear, but we gave him like a not really a jade, but like a stone thing, so it looked like they were carved out of stone.
Yeah, I was trying to find a way to get rid of this bottom part. I thought I could do like a slideshow. There we go. There we go. That looks better. All right. So yeah, I thought this piece was pretty awesome. And we're going into some Cobra Kai. So these are the VHS tape sort of series figures, right?
Yes. Yeah, we did a couple for Wall. Well, we did one
Yeah.
Tron one for San Diego 2020, I think, and then we did a Crow one for Walmart.
And the Rocketeer.
Did we do a Rocketeer? Yeah, we did Rocketeer, and we did Crow. Did we do another one? I forget.
Those the only two.
There might have been another one, but Rocketeer and Crow we did, and then and so now we're doing Cobra Kai, Daniel and Johnny.
Yeah, my buddy Josh Cox got the Crow one. He got the Rocketeer one, or he found it at first, and they refused to sell it to him before because it was too early. So then he ended up, I think, getting it another day. But he's really loving the VHS style packaging that you guys are doing. He doesn't even want to open them because it just like it's.
Yeah, I've got a Crow one here. I have the other Crows, like the deluxe one with the chair, which was a San Diego last year, and we have I have the regular. I actually have the Walgreens version too. So I have a bunch of different Crows, so I don't need to open that one. But it's always tempting just because it's such a great figure. I lean back and touch it because I love it so much.
Yeah, the Crow figure. I got the one that had like the guitar, his long trench coat, and stuff like that. And the way you guys captured the face, and this is, I'm totally, fanboying it out. One thing that a lot of companies can't do, or what they have done, is like the Crow. They just paint the face white. It's just a white face paint. There you go, and that's it. But you guys somehow were able to capture the look of like how that type of makeup blends with the flesh tone. Like it doesn't look like just a painted white figure. It actually looks like he's wearing makeup.
That's great to hear. That's great.
Like that was one of the things that really impressed me on it. I was just like, I kept looking at it and I'm like, it's just too good. So we got the shots, and these are like the promo shots that you guys were showing out. So I gathered all those up. Still looking good.
I think these versions, the VHS versions, come with trading cards inside, along with the display base.
Nice. And that display bases actually have stuff on them?
Yeah, just it says Miyagi-Do Dojo, Miyagi-Do Karate, yeah. And then we have a Cobra Kai one for Johnny.
Yep, we got those there too.
Oh, this might be the retro figure. I'm going by the headband there. This might be the retro figure where we're doing a set where we have retro Daniel and Johnny in their classic outfits. And those are, it's going to be a 2-pack. I don't know if it's going to make it to the show, unfortunately, but we'll offer it online. It'll be eventually through, might be another, we might make an exclusive or something else.
We got the Johnny one. I love the package design on this one. It screams 80s. I mean, you can't get more 80s than that.
Very 80s. A lot of cool pictures of him on the back. Yep, there's the Cobra Kai base.
Yeah. One of my friends has like his whole, like he has a house gym and it's like Cobra Kai themed out.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, you can see that last one, he had the all black costume. This one is the yellow retro costume. Yeah, 2 different figures, but the yellow trimmed one will be part of a retro 2-pack. Again, may not make it to San Diego, but we'll offer it later on.
Okay, so this isn't the one that's
it's a little confusing. We offered two figure sets this year for Cobra Kai, but the problem's been solved. We're not going to have this one at the show, so now we just have the one. But we'll offer it later on, the retro 2-pack. And it's gonna have a nice box too. Oh, there's Bruce Lee.
Still
I love
great
box art for that one. I don't know if that's our art. I think it might be our artwork because we designed a statue that looked a lot like that. I don't think it was based on a specific piece of artwork. I'm not sure, but it came out real nice.
Just looks like the back of a VHS.
Yeah, we have a great packaging designer. I don't know if these were done by Jack Tsai or not, but he does a lot of packaging design for us, a lot of the San Diego packaging, the more deluxe packaging. So he comes with a couple of nunchucks.
And all the alternate hands and then the stand. I like the custom stands.
Yeah. Oh, and John Wick, which was never released on VHS, but I think they did a really good job of making it look like a VHS tape.
Yeah, with the lines and stuff, looks like a Die Hard type of style box,
like Vestron Video or something.
Yeah, right? But yeah, just a way to take your figures to a different level. Like, buy two, have one to keep. You can have it the whole VHS collection, and then you have the ones that you can have open, standing in front of them.
And he comes with a room key for the Continental and a couple of machine guns, along with a pistol.
Then we got the
that's a beautiful
normal
piece.
Phoenix.
Yeah, you guys saw the dark Phoenix I took a picture of. This is the green Phoenix.
So then people could probably put a light underneath that, and
put a light under it, and it's gonna look real good.
There's another shot of it. Then we got some Spidey, animated Spidey.
Yep, Spider-Sense Spider-Man. I haven't watched the 90s cartoon in a long time. I don't even know if I really watched it regularly. It might have been during my not watching cartoons phase, which was probably pretty short. But that was it's a show that's got a lot of fans. So I think this one will do pretty well.
Yeah, I watched it. I don't think I watched like every episode. So I know there's episodes that probably slipped past me. What stands out to me was I don't know if you remember, but MTV had like a Spider-Man animated. It was like 3D animated sort of show. And
I
was
remember
actually
that.
really good. Some shots with that.
Yeah, I think Toy Biz did a couple of figures from that cartoon. I think they did a Spider-Man and a lizard from that show, the MTV one.
Now these are about what, 7 inches?
They're about 6 inches tall. These are 1/7 scale, I want to say. We do bigger ones that are bigger busts that are 1/6 scale, but I think these are 1/7. And yeah, the first Spider-Man we did, I think, sold out. So if you want a Spider-Man, this might be your best bet, because we do limited editions of this one might be 3,000. It might be less. The original Spider-Man was 3,000, but we got Doc Ock just hit, I think, this past today. I think Doc Ock hit today, and Mysterio hit a little while ago.
And then we got this one. Yep, that one went through the email. I got the email. I was like, there's another thing from SDCC I got to slap in here. And this is the
just
premium,
revealed.
Right?
Legends in 3 Dimensions series.
Okay.
It's our 1/2 scale bust line. So this is the Officer. We did a regular one that I think just came out not too long ago. And this is the Officer version.
Okay, so this is like what you were doing with like the G.I. Joe with like Storm Shadow, Destro, and stuff. That scale.
Yes, Storm Shadow, Destro, the Red Ranger from Power Rangers. We have a lot of Marvel ones: Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man.
These are definitely like limited and go pretty.
Yeah, the Legends in 3D are limited to 1,000 each. This one is limited to 1,000. So I think we'll have some in our web store at GeneralGiantLimited.com, LTD.com, and then we'll have some at the show floor, I'm pretty sure, and then we'll have the rest are going to be sold to comic shops. Because this, along with pretty much everything you've shown so far for San Diego, is shared with Diamond Comics. So in addition to having some at the show, and we'll be the only ones on the show floor that have them, we'll also sell some online, and then Diamond will sell to comic shops and other retailers. Nice. So you'll be able to get this in a couple of different places if you aren't able to get it to the show.
And then the last one, this is the only image I had. I think this is part of that VHS set as well.
Well, it's not going to be a clamshell VHS. It's going to be like a cardboard sleeve VHS. So you have the cardboard sleeve with some original Mini-Mates artwork on the front, and then it'll slide out. That tray will slide out, and it'll look like a VHS tape on one side, and it'll be a blister card with the Transformers on it on the other side. But yeah, this is the art we had available at the time for when we were announcing it. But it's these are the cartoon colors versions. The first box set we did had Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Starscream, and I want to say Shockwave, but they were all metallic colors. So we had a gold Bumblebee and a metallic, silvery Optimus Prime, and Megatron is in Series 2.
Got the Bumblebee right here.
Oh, excellent! Yeah, And these are the cartoon colors ones. So you got a flat yellow Bumblebee, nice bright Optimus Prime. Megatron was in Series 2, which just hit stores this week. But this Megatron will be gray instead of silver.
So no matter the style that you... What's that?
I'm excited about these. I love mini mates and I love the cartoons. So
yeah, I mean, you have two different options. You can sit there and get the animated style or metallic style.
And the case is going to be really cool too. Hopefully we'll show some pictures off before the show.
So that is it when it comes to the SDCC stuff that I ended up gathering.
We will have some more, a few more exclusives that are exclusive to just our booth and our website. They won't be shared with other retailers, so you'll only have two places to get them: the show or the website. So we've got another couple Star Wars pieces coming. And we've got one of our animated style statues. We're going to do a variant on one of those. And then we're going to have a Vinimate 2-pack from an all-new license that we have not announced yet, which I think is going to be really big news when it comes out. But we're not going to announce it until July 1st when we announce that Vinimate 2-pack.
Okay.
Sorry to tease you like that. I wish I could. I'm telling everybody because I'm so excited about it, but I can't tell anybody what it is yet. So,
and that's all right. Don't need to leak stuff that could get you in trouble.
Yeah.
So then, speaking of some reveals, and this is one I think a lot of people. I mean, even one of the people in the chat here, Figure Collective. I can't wait for that Red Hulk. The OG one is my favorite Hulk by far, and that's a lot of people with their collection. And this is going to be, I feel, the definitive Red Hulk for everybody, because your guys' bigger scale figures, again, Juggernaut, even the Colossus that you guys did, the Immortal Hulk, like all of them are pretty much the proper size to fit with like the 1/12 scale figures. You know?
Yeah. A lot of the Legends collectors like our big stuff. We try to mix it up so that we have 7-inch figures for the regular select collectors, but definitely Legends collectors do help with the sales of the bigger guys. So the Immortal Hulk, which the body this is based on, the Immortal Hulk sold out like 2 production runs. So I'm expecting good numbers on the Red Hulk. Everybody wants him to have a mustache like that general who was in the U.S. Avengers.
Yeah.
But no alternate head on this particular one.
Yeah, see, the mustache, to me, I understand why everybody likes it. I thought the mustache looked a little goofy.
I think it looks awesome. I just wish it was General Ross and not a new guy. If it was General Ross and he just decided to grow a mustache, through the sheer force of will, he grew himself a mustache. That would be awesome. But it's a different general, which I always thought was kind of strange.
Yeah, and you guys are always like, that's something I say with a lot of my reviews. Like, you guys aren't scared to paint your figures. You guys put a lot of effort into the paint work, the dry brushing and stuff to really make stuff pop. And I mean, my eyes right now, like the teeth look amazing, the fingernails, and I can see the dry brushing on the pants. Just looking awesome. Now, did you get to play with this in hand at all, or no?
I think I don't know if we've got a production sample of it yet. I want to say that this was a production sample. It looks like they were able to pose it pretty good. We had the body already tooled and everything. I think we probably tooled this head when we tooled the other heads for a regular Hulk, because we always knew we were going to make a red one, just because we knew it was just a really cool body that we were developing. And we wanted to develop something that would replace that old Incredible Hulk figure that we did, which is, a lot of people like it. He's really big and ripped. And the Red Hulk that we did based on that is pretty good too. But we wanted to do a new Hulk, and by default we said, well, let's do a new Red Hulk too. So they did a great job with the painting. Really, it's leaps and bounds above the paint of the other ones.
And so with having a Red Hulk, is most likely following suit. We'll probably eventually get a Gray Hulk. And
well, we never did a gray variant on the original Incredible Hulk body. We did that Ultimate Hulk. I don't think we've ever done a classic Gray Hulk. We did the Savage Hulk, which was green. It'd be really cool to do a variant on the Savage Hulk. I really like that figure. It's underrated. The one where he's got the tattered shirt and kind of the Kirby-esque face. But yeah, I don't know if we do a variant on that one, but it'd be really cool to do a classic gray Hulk on this. I'd love it.
Or you guys could just come to the table and do like a Mr. Fix It,
Oh yeah,
that
that would be a whole new. Yeah, I think we were looking at that for a future figure, and I'm curious to know what people would think about that, because Legends has done. I mean, in addition to the one they did a long time ago in the Hulk line,
the Legends one is doo-doo. The Build-A-Figure?
Yeah. You don't like it?
I think it's garbage. Like it's based off the game verse. His face doesn't look right. He looks sort of like a baby face, like pudgy face. It's a weird design. Like it should have just been straight up like Gray Hulk, pinstripes, Tommy gun, like the original, like I guess like you're saying like the one with the Hulk wave where he had like the fabric trench coat in a sense.
Yeah, I remember one with like a long trench coat. I didn't know it was fabric. I didn't know it was removable, but that sounds pretty cool. But if the common feeling is that it could stand to be improved, then maybe we should look at it again. I'd love to do a Professor Hulk, like a Smart Hulk, like a Dale Keown.
That would be awesome too.
Or Gary Frank, Smart Hulk in the tank top. That'd be pretty cool.
And we got ammo to go, running a little late. Hey man, it's all right. It'll be up on my channel, so you can always go back and watch where you might have missed.
You didn't miss much. We just showed a lot of pictures of my toy photography. So
the skin on the lid when he says is like a sickly green gray. But I think you guys could definitely knock it out of the park. Trevor says Dale Keown is one of my favorite artists.
He's great.
So that is really it with the photos. So let's go into some questions. And I know some people, if you guys have questions for Zach, comment in the comment section. But I do have some I gathered from posts and stuff that I've posted in the collecting groups. I got a couple of them. And I'll even be polite and let you know who actually asked them. I'll put their name out there. So let's start with my buddy, fellow collector, all the way from good old Seattle, Washington. Paul Hugh, he said, I want to see some good Diamond Select Toys cosmic characters like the Living Tribunal, the Stranger, or the In-Betweener. So I guess he in a sense he's asking, do you think any of that stuff was ever be a possibility or would ever been talked about?
I've thought about the Living Tribunal, but I wasn't sure how big he would need to be to really fit in with the line. We've kind of shied away from doing anything bigger than our packaging, which is like 10 inches tall. But never say never is what the president always says. We've done some obscure back in the day. The Watcher was kind of obscure, and Mephisto was semi-obscure when we did those back in the day. But also, those funny thing is, those didn't sell very well back in the day. It was only later on that people are like, "Wait a minute, I need those figures."
The Watcher's still selling like crazy right now.
Yeah, we just put out that new run, and I'm pretty sure it's selling out, which is great. It's sold out at the warehouse level anyway. We knew that in advance that it was going to sell out the run. So we can only make a certain
canceled my buddy Paul's Watcher pre-order. I'm like, how are you getting stuff canceled all the time? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, we'll keep an eye out because it seems like it's been sporadically popping up on Amazon and stuff that people have been sniping it. So it's just awesome that you guys brought back the Watcher, and it was in such high demand. It was just a really well done figure.
Yeah, we've been trying for a while. This wasn't the first time we tried to reissue it, but we're only allowed to make a certain number of figures at a time. So we knew it was going to sell out. So there was some allocation involved with the retailers. That's probably why your friends got canceled. But hopefully he's able to track one down.
So we got Trevor McGuire. He says, I guess he's bringing back Pitt. And then they said, ooh, new Pitt figure. And then Ammo to Go says we need a new Pitt. So any possibility you guys doing like a Pitt figure?
We haven't done a lot of indie comic stuff. But I'd love to see more indie comic stuff for sure. Well, actually, that's not true. We did a lot of indie comic stuff for our Femme Fatales line. We did like Lady Death. Hack Slash, Dawn, Tarot. But we haven't done a lot of Guy independent comics. I mean, I always push for Hellboy. My boss and I are big Hellboy fans. But Pitt would be pretty cool if they bring him back and he's got like a popular series. That original Pitt figure from Toy Biz is just amazing. I used to have it, it's definitely a great figure. But yeah, I know it probably goes for a lot of money now. But to do one that's like maybe more, I forget how big he was in the comics. I know he was pretty big, but to do one that's maybe more in scale with, say, a 7-inch figure, that would be pretty cool.
You put it on that. You could probably utilize that Hulk buck a little bit. I mean,
yeah, probably just put some chains on him.
Trevor Maguire said he got his watcher the other day.
Excellent.
And then Judd is saying, so can we expect Joe Fixit and Smart Hawk, let's say, in 2024?
We just finished up planning 2023. So next to be planned would definitely be 2024. And based on what I'm hearing, there's still love for the Hulk. So, well, what I'm hearing from Judd anyway. But it seems like there might be some room for a Fix-It or a Professor Hulk or something like that. We don't want to hit Hulk too hard because, we make a lot of Hulks and people are like, yep, only thing Diamond's good for is making Hulks.
Well, if they say that, then they obviously don't mess with your other lines and other figures. But I mean, when you guys are doing something good,
yeah, our 7-inch figures are pretty good too. So our standard size ones. So we'll have to see. I'm always up for a Hulk, so I'll keep that in mind for 2024 when the boss says, hey, what are people asking for? I usually look around. We looked at some old polls that they did on the Fwoosh. We looked at there's a poll that they did on the Marvel Select community on Facebook. They weren't too happy with the Titanium Man when we announced the Titanium Man, but that sold out. That did really well. So you can't, not everybody has the same opinions about stuff.
Well, unfortunately, I feel like in the collecting community, you're gonna have your crybabies and people that are just not happy with anything that a company does. So they'll sit there and cry about it. It wasn't this. You should have done this. Why don't you do this? And
I didn't want to say they were crybabies, but everybody's got a figure they want. And if you look at the votes, the votes that they did, there's a lot of characters up there. Apocalypse is up there. We're making Apocalypse. Sentinel is way up there, but again, it's that bigger character. We'd have to to put him in the select packaging. I don't think we're allowed to do like a deluxe, like really tall packaging, like variation. So we'd have to do it within our figure. And I don't know if they want us making like 12-inch figures, stuff like that. So, because we've been making figures longer than Hasbro, but Hasbro's a master toy licensee, so we have to take their opinions into consideration.
I mean, if you look at like the X-Men arcade game, the enemies that you're fighting were technically like Sentinels that were almost the same size, so they were like smaller versions.
Yeah, the first appearance of Sentinels, they really weren't too much bigger than people. It was only later that they got so big. But yeah, a classic Sentinel would be really cool. But does anybody want like a classic Sentinel? Living Tribunal is awesome. I've always loved the design of the Living Tribunal. Beyonder. No, wait, did you say Beyonder or no? In-Betweener. In-Betweener is a really cool design. But again, not a big character. The Watcher. No, not the Watcher. The
Stranger.
Collector. The Stranger. Stranger is pretty obscure too. But I'd be down for that. It would be really cool, but really impossible to make. Eternity would be a tough one to make. No, we did Silver Surfer. We've done Thanos. I don't know if an Adam Warlock would sell really well. Nova would be really cool. I don't know if he's considered cosmic. He's not really cosmic. I guess he's kind of cosmic.
Yeah, he's cosmic.
And then, we did all the Guardians of the Galaxy. Annihilus would be really cool, although you can't really top Toy Business Annihilus. They did a really great build-a-figure of Annihilus.
You can always, with your guys' paint and stuff like that, I think, and with some of your sculpts, I think you guys could do a really good Annihilus.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of characters to do. Comic Laser Pants wants a comic Ironmonger. I'll tell you, that's one we've definitely talked about. So, never say never.
Yeah, we got everybody saying Grendel.
Yeah, everybody wants
and
a
then
Grendel.
Ammo to go. That Titanium Man was honestly one of my favorite figures of 2021.
And Trevor says Hulk-size Sentinel from Capcom. That would be really cool. A Capcom Sentinel.
Marvel versus Capcom type of stuff would be ridiculous. That was one of every at least for fighting games. Like I'm a huge fighting game fan, so like Marvel vs. Capcom was one of the bigger competitive type of games, and so Sentinel was one of the top tier characters to play as. So we got this is from Ernest. He says he gave some sort of statements. I'd love to see them do a strong guy or a Deadpool Colossus. And Juggernaut. Oh, maybe Deadpool Colossus from the movie. He says Deadpool Colossus.
Oh, movie Colossus. Yeah.
So, okay. So, all right. So that's what he's saying. So he would like to see from the Deadpool films a Colossus and a Juggernaut.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the Juggernaut design from the movie, but I don't know.
Don't tell me you're a fan of the third X-Men Juggernaut.
Yeah, no, that's not a great one either. I don't know. I don't know if we can improve on the Juggernaut we've already made. The Colossus, I love Colossus, but again, we made a really good comic Colossus. Movie Colossus would be pretty cool. I'm not sure what our rights are to the Deadpool movies. We might be able to do stuff from there. I think before we made any of those characters, we'd probably do a movie Deadpool. But I'm not sure what our rights are. We did some mini-mates for it, but I'm not sure if the possibility of a figure exists. That would certainly be very cool.
He was also mentioning the Colossus that he was looking for would be like an Outback era Colossus.
Oh, with no shirt? Yeah.
Yep. Little gauntlets and his little undies.
It's funny. The Colossus that we made, his shirt comes off. He still has a little bit of shirt on his abs, but he's got you can do a bare chest version of Colossus if you take off his shoulder pads. I forget how different his wristbands were and his boots and stuff, but no, I was a big fan of that was my glory days for X-Men, the Silvestri and Jim Lee stuff. Right around the time of that transition, Silvestri to Jim Lee was when I started reading, and I worked my way back to X-Men 193, first appearance of Warpath, and I worked my way forward until, gosh, I can't remember when I stopped reading X-Men. Probably after Joe Madureira left. I was sad.
Yeah, it got a little weird after that. But I mean, you read the X-Men in some of the in the prime though, you know.
Oh yeah, no, that's what got me into it. That artwork, that Silvestri artwork, and the Jim Lee artwork.
So Art G asked, he's wondering about future Star Wars figures, such as he says they only showed Darth Maul and Chewbacca recently. Is there any future figures in the works or anything that you'd be able to speak of without getting in trouble?
Yeah, no, we have a couple more figures in the works. Chewbacca was the last one. Before that was a Stormtrooper, and then first two were Maul and Fett. We definitely have more in the works. There's at least 2 more in development right now. I'm not sure of release dates. I haven't seen any I haven't seen the prototypes. I'm sure they're out there. I haven't seen any production samples yet. But they're going to be very cool whenever they're done. And they're characters I'm excited to see made. So they're definitely coming. Thumbs up to hopefully everybody likes them.
Nice. And then I do have Ammo to Go's here. I have his question because I wasn't sure. But just in case, he was asking, will you ever re-release the Hulkbuster with extra hands or articulated hands?
Unlikely. That was a shop. Did we reissue that outside of Shop Disney? I forget. It was originally a Shop Disney exclusive, but I think we may have done a new run of it since then. But it's I doubt we do extra hands at this stage, because if we change anything about the figure, then it's a new production run. It's a new character basically. So that we're limited in the number of new characters we can make per year. So Unlikely that we would change anything, unfortunately. At one point, they were articulated, but we also have articulation limits too, so we wouldn't have been able to do that. But hopefully people like the figure they got. It's a really cool figure. If we went way back in toy photography, I took some pictures of it in the middle of Manhattan, running around fighting the Hulk and stuff like that. And some of those came out pretty good.
Nice. Now, all right. So speaking of like limited and like if you change something, it's going to be reproduction. So with like example, like the reissue of Moon Knight, was there any ever talk of like redoing the Moon Knight figure or something like that, or is it just like, let's just reissue it?
I think the decision to reissue it was based on probably time and money. It was done for the Disney store. If we're going to do a new figure, then we needed to sell a certain number of units, and if they're not interested in moving that many units, then we have to do something a little less expensive. Because if we're going to tool a new figure, you got to sell at least 10 or 12,000 of them, just to make back the cost of creating those steel molds. So if they only want, say, 3,000 or 5,000 of a figure, then we have to work with what we have, so that we can do paint variants. We can do maybe an alternate head, something like that. But to do a whole new figure, it's got to be a pretty big order, and not every figure that Disney orders is that big an order. That said, we do have some new figures coming up, 100% new figures coming up for a Disney and for a specialty. But before that, there will be one more repaint that we're doing for Disney Store, which is a pretty cool looking figure, but it's a figure we've done before, a comic figure we've done before that's going to have a new paint scheme. So keep an eye out for that, and don't get discouraged. There will be more all new figures coming.
Nice. I don't think anybody's getting discouraged by it. It's just more of just good old questions. So I got some from two from T-Man 978. He's another reviewer. Will you ever incorporate butterfly joints?
We have tried butterfly joints on a couple of figures. I think on John Wick, and on Bruce Lee. I think one of the Bruce Lees, it was not implemented the right way, so we weren't able to get the full range of motion. But I think for John Wick, we were able to do it. And I think we're going to do it for, I'm not 100% sure about Kato, but we definitely have plans to do more butterfly joints. We've got a Jean-Claude Van Damme figure coming up that we're going to be doing, and that I assume we're going to go all out with articulation on him.
Nice.
And
my dog's going crazy because my wife's coming in. I'm trying not to have the dog go crazy. So we're getting Bloodsport Van Damme.
I'm not sure what era Van Damme. Our license is for Van Damme himself, much like our license for Bruce Lee. So I'm not sure what era of Jean-Claude Van Damme it's going to be. It probably won't be based on one specific movie. It'll probably be sort of like a pastiche, if you will. But I think we've got a couple different figures planned, so I think you'll see a couple different versions of Van Damme.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think it was the butterfly ones probably had the issue with the yellow suited Bruce Lee, because Enter the Dragon Bruce Lee, I love it. Like the articulation in it is really well done figures.
Oh, great.
So out of the two, that was my favorite. And
that's the one we're doing in the VHS kit too.
Nice. And then he also asked, will you consider not using the double hinge hip joints that you guys use? And it says, he says,
will we consider
affects
not
the
using
sculpt unless the figure is standing straight up and down. I guess it's more of he doesn't like the gaps in the crotch when the legs spread in that the DCUC hips, I think most people call them. We've definitely tried to move away from those. I mean, they still make sense for certain figures, but
we've tried to move away from that. I'm trying to think what the most recent figure that we put out.
Omni Man, my Omni Man, I have it with, it has those hips, but
yeah, Omni Man has them. I want to
the,
say, yeah, Invincible probably has them too.
I have him posed up on the flight stand with the baseball and his mitt and stuff like that, and it looks
Excellent.
good.
Excellent.
You know, I guess it just depends on what you're doing with the figures.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody wants the typical, like the hip and stuff like that, but I mean, even with, you know, Carnage and stuff like that, it's not bad, you know.
Yeah, that's the kind of hip I think they. Well, I don't know if they want the what would you call that? Would you call that like a T, not a T crotch, but a side peg barbell, or however you want to call it? We have some different articulation that we're working on, so we're trying not to do that articulation if possible. We've got some more posable characters coming up that we're trying to not do that for. I think I've seen the designs, and I think we're doing something different. I think one of the Spider-Mans we did for the movies, the Homecoming or Far From Home, had the right kind of articulation, and I think we're going to try to mimic that for future articulated athletic characters. Yeah, I don't think it was. It might be that one. It might be that one in terms of the leg posability. I'll have to take a look and see on the design what.
But yeah, that figure poses really well too. Like it doesn't have the same. It's the normal looking one.
Yeah, I believe we're doing a different type of articulation for it, so we'll have to see. We do have some more posable characters coming out.
Now, is it a cost difference between the style too, by chance? Like, is it like one cheaper than the other, or?
No, we just want it to look good. And if it looks good, you know, standing still, then, you know, our theory is that it'll look good, you know, in other poses. But some people don't like that gap. You know, we'll have to see going forward. I believe we've got a lot of figures in the works that will not have that articulation. So hopefully people like it.
We got somebody mentioning Modern Evil Ernie. I never read Evil Ernie. I know what he looks like, but
yeah, I don't think I
never
did
read
either.
it. And then we also have Greg Fedstead. Zach, are there any older properties that Diamond Select Toys did multiple waves of that you would like to pick up and do more of?
I would have liked to see more Tron, but I'm not sure if we're able to do any more Tron. I think they're still looking into it, but I don't think we can do more Tron right now. Some people want more Black Hole, which I'm not a huge Black Hole fan. It was not a movie that I saw until I found out we were getting the license. And I'm like, well, I should probably watch this. But Tron would be great. I was a big fan of Tron.
What about some more Ghostbusters from the
Ghostbusters?
animated,
I'd love to do more real Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
that'd be great, because we did the Spectral Ghostbusters, which was a big thing for me. But to do like Sam Hain and Boogeyman and Sandman and all those guys would be great. Yeah, I mean,
Boogeyman gave many people nightmares.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But yeah, that would be amazing. Like up here, I have the whole firehouse built up.
Excellent.
The dial that you guys did. I have all the Stay Puffs. So then I have the Spectrals in a row, and then in front of that is the row of the real Ghostbusters, and then I have the movie ones in there. So I have them all just standing in front of the hooks and ladders, and then I have the normal. Why can't I think of it? It's right in front of my face. Terror Dog. Yeah, so I got the one that was Spectral, and then I have the regular one, so it balances out having the two different ones, just swapping out the horns and everything.
Excellent.
That line was a amazing line that you guys did. And that firehouse, it was a challenge to obtain everything. Like, it was to track down, because I wasn't on top of it when it first released. And your guys' connection method on that, I was like, what is this weird snapping? Like, you pop these things up, but it worked so well. And I love it. It takes up so much space, and it's worthy of that space.
Yeah, if I was to go back and make just more of those figures, that'd be worth it to me, just to go back and make more of the real Ghostbusters. Some people just can't get them, and some people want to, finish that Firehouse, but they can't get all the figures, and it's too bad. I wish we could go back and make more, but right now our license doesn't include action figures. We might make some other types of products, but not action figures. But yeah, I'd love to go back and make more. I'm not the biggest Kevin Smith fan, but I'd love to go back and make more Kevin Smith figures. There's a lot of characters that'd be fun to do. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Westworld wasn't really my cup of tea.
It got weird.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts would be great to do. We had a lot of characters planned. Oh, there you go. We had a lot of characters planned for Kingdom Hearts we weren't able to do, like Riku and oh gosh, I forget all the other characters we had planned, but there were other characters we were gonna do, and we just didn't. We weren't able to finish get them out. I think those sales weren't as strong as we would have liked them to be. Yeah, that would have been really cool to do some Final Fantasy figures that were
Final Fantasy figures would be awesome.
Yeah, that would have been neat. Again, not a huge gamer and not a huge fan of that sort of turn-based fighting, but I like the designs of Final Fantasy. I like most of them. So
well, the newer Final Fantasy stuff they got sort of away from it. It's more action based.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, a lot of people when they think Final Fantasy, they go straight to like Final Fantasy 7, everybody Cloud and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah, that would be cool because you guys did a good job with your Castlevania line too from the Netflix series.
Yeah, I think those came out pretty good. But yeah, I don't think I saw the last season. I think I saw the first 2 seasons. I don't think I saw the last one. But yeah, there's lots of stuff that would be great to go back and revisit.
And then one question I have, so I guess it happened with like the Kingdom Hearts as well. But example with like Lord of the Rings, with the Deluxe Golem, they came with, from what I've seen, it comes with like the missing daggers for Legolas, axe for Gimli, some extra arrows for Legolas. So, and then like Kingdom Hearts, I think you had to go and get Mickey to get one of the Keyblades or something like that.
There were a few exclusive Keyblades for that line. Like there was one version of oh, I'm blanking on his name. Not Roxas, that came with Oblivion. And that's the one that's really hard to find. I want to say it was available at either Walmart or GameStop. And so a lot of people were like, how do I get that Oblivion Keyblade? But it was only available with one figure in one place. So we did a lot of different Keyblades for that. But towards the end, the Keyblades are really expensive. They cost us, I mean, there's so many different paint apps and, sculpted details that it cost almost as much as a figure to make a Keyblade. Wow. So we ended up not being able to do a couple of them. I think we weren't able to do the deputy Toy Story Keyblade. We did the Hercules Keyblade, the Hero's Journey or whatever it was called, but no, I don't think we were able to do the Toy Story Keyblade, which would have been really cool. It was a good looking Keyblade.
So what I guess with the question, like, what is it? How does it come along? Like, is it just because when like, so example, like with Legolas, was it just not like, was it forgot or just not fit with the budget at the time? And then you had to like trim it down a little bit, and then we'll just release it down the road, or how does that end up working?
Yeah, it's mostly cost. Okay. So, by the end of the Kingdom Hearts line, I think sales were not as strong, and we weren't going to be selling as many of that figure as we expected. So we ended up doing, not the right Keyblade. But definitely with Legolas, it was all about cost. We had a lot of high hopes for the line in terms of like, what we could include, but with costs going up across the board and still going up, we weren't able to include everything we wanted to, like cloaks and things like that. So we didn't solicit the cloaks, but we showed them at a show at Toy Fair with cloaks. And so a lot of people thought they were going to come with cloaks and were disappointed when they didn't. But
maybe down the road, an accessory pack.
Yeah. Once we've released the whole Fellowship, I'm all for doing a box set with cloaks. I think that would be great. I think it was just we had to cut something, and I think that was just unfortunately was one of the last things that we wanted to cut, but just had to be cut. and luckily we were able to include it with a future release. So hopefully people weren't too bummed about buying the Golem, which came with a lot of extra stuff, cool rock formation, a third head that was not available with the San Diego version, the Smeagol Head. So hopefully people dug it, because it's a really great figure. I have two of them and I don't mind. You can have Golem arguing with himself as Smeagol, so
which is great, which is a good idea too. We got Greg did Diamond Select Toys, did some memorable figures lines for sci-fi shows like Stargate, Battlestar Galactica. Was there ever talk of trying to get figures for sci-fi / Amazon Expanse show?
I don't think that was. I don't know if that was ever discussed. I never heard anything about it, but it's possible the president inquired after it. We do love the sci-fi, but I'm not sure that was ever considered. I've honestly never seen an episode of it, so I've heard it's good. I know it had a second life on Amazon, so it must be good if it got fan support to jump networks like that. But I've never seen it, so I can't say how much of a crime it is that we haven't made any.
Right. We got Irrelevant Hulk. Are you guys doing figures from the Netflix Pacific Rim animated show? Because you guys were doing the original Pacific Rims. So hopefully, possibly.
I think we're reissuing the 9 original figures that we did from Pacific Rim 2 Uprising. I think we're going to bring all of them back because they were really great figures, and we think there's still interest in them enough to do a second run. And I believe we have one new figure for Pacific Rim coming up. But I guess we'll have to see how that goes. I'm not sure when we're soliciting it. I want to say we're going to solicit it in late July. So we'll see. We'll see how that does in terms of ordering. I'm hoping it does really well. So keep an eye out for that. Late July, there'll be a new Pacific Rim figure. I think 100% new, but we'll have to see.
Can't go wrong with Kaiju, giant robo type of figures.
More Kaiju would definitely be great. That's if you want to talk about a line that I wish we'd go back and did more of, it would be Pacific Rim, just to have more Kaiju for the robots to fight.
And then we got Greg. If you're able to do a Lord of the Rings full Fellowship set, would you give Gandalf the staff he used in Moria that he put the crystal in to generate light?
As a fan of Lord of the Rings, but not an expert in Lord of the Rings, I forget, was that a different staff that he had in Moria that he didn't have in that the figure one is different? Or do you just want a light up version of the staff he had? Because I didn't realize it was a different staff.
So I think did his staff break?
I don't know. I mean, definitely remember it lighting up, but I don't remember it being a different staff. I don't know if we do a new version of the staff where it had a crystal, but we have several more waves planned of Lord of the Rings. So if we revisit Gandalf in the future, maybe you might see another version of Gandalf that might have different accessories. But we'll have to see how that goes.
And there's probably restrictions on, you can't have them with their little smoking pipes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think they want pipes.
Because that's like iconic stuff. He's riding in, smoking out of the pipe, spending time with Bilbo, and then the other two where after Treebeard took out Saruman.
I think the original design for Gandalf had a whole bunch of fireworks. That if we
that
had
would have been cool.
Would have included. That would have been pretty cool.
All right, I guess that is everybody. The questions are slowing down, and we've been going for a good hour and 20 something minutes. So I mean, it's a good time to be coming to a close. If anybody else has questions, go ahead and it's the last couple minutes, and then if this is if we don't get any questions, then we'll just sort of end it at 8:30, I guess.
In the Hobbit and early Fellowship, he lost it to Saruman. As a staff used from Rivendell to the fight with the Balrog. Lastly, he had his staff as Gandalf the White. Okay.
Ooh, so would we get a Gandalf the White? Possibly.
Yeah, if we do a Gandalf the White, he'd obviously have the new staff. Yeah, losing the staff to Saruman, Rivendell. I don't know if we do a new version of the staff from the early Fellowship, but if we end up doing it again off the white, then I'm sure we'll make an accurate staff for him.
Yeah, because he did. Now when he said that, would Greg say that it made sense because he got captured by Saruman, imprisoned up on the thing, and then he escaped, and then all of a sudden he got the new staff. Yeah. Then you guys should do a live interview at New York Comic-Con. It would be dope. What do you mean?
You gonna be at NYCC?
I have no. I don't even know when it is.
I think it's October every year.
October? Yeah, I haven't picked up any tickets or anything like that. But if I find people to go with and stuff, yeah, then we could easily do that. Yes, Irrelevant Hulk, we could do that. If I end up going, I will track Zach down and we could do a live interview. Maybe not for an hour and a half though, unless he has the time to do something like that. But
probably not on the show floor, but
it's like ignore everybody.
We can do one at night. I'll be in the hotel room, but I'll be happy to do a in the middle of New York Comic-Con interview.
That'd be pretty cool. We got Greg here. Your first Gandalf has the Hobbit to Saruman staff. Okay.
Good to know.
Attention to detail, Greg. That's awesome.
Yes. Thank you, Greg.
All right. I mean, Zach, it's definitely been a pleasure. It was a pleasure the first time we did a little interview and chit chat, and it's always fun to talk about Diamond Select and what you guys are doing in the future, because you guys are doing some big things. Like example, like again, that Lord of the Rings line was spectacular. You're knocking a lot of stuff out of the park with Marvel Select. Your mini mates that you guys are doing are ridiculous. Like I haven't got around to review it yet, but let me do this one. You took pictures of them, but I mean, if people don't realize, so these are mini mates. It's a little blurry, but Storm Shadow is really awesome because not only did you guys just like make a mini mate that's Storm Shadow, he has 2 removable swords on the back. He's got removable arrows, and he has a bow to go with these arrows. Like the amount of accessories that you guys cram with the mini mates is impressive. I like it.
Yeah, we're doing a box set of carded mini mates for G.I. Joe. So like series 1 was Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Duke, and Roadblock, and then series 2 is Storm Shadow, Cobra Commander, Baroness, and Destro. And the Storm Shadow in this box set will be different. He'll be more cartoon accurate. So he's got like a flared shoulder pad, and he's got black weapons instead of white weapons, and it's going to be a really cool set. The carded art, it's going to have the original artwork on the card. It's going to be very cool. And
is Cobra Commander going to come with the hooded Cobra Commander head?
No, I don't think they want to do the hooded Cobra Commander anymore. But we're doing.
That's what I wasn't sure if it was just one version. I wasn't sure if it was just the one company or if it was all companies that were getting away. I guess the hoodedness is just bad.
I'm sure if we could do one, we would do one, but I'm pretty sure we're not doing one. So, this one will be no cape. The first one we did in the Free Comic Book Day box set had a cape, and this one will just be classic cartoon Cobra Commander. Yeah, the first box set was kind of comic inspired.
Yeah,
but the 2 new carded sets are more cartoon.
Now the artwork on the card, is it going to be like the retro? And
retro artwork on the card. Yeah.
Now retro from the 80s style artwork, or retro as in you're going to mini mate the characters on there?
We thought about doing that for a little while. We did the original artwork for the Free Comic Book Day box set cover, but for these we're going to do the actual original 1980s art for the blister carded figures, and then they're going to come in like a Foot Locker. The 4 figures will come in a Foot Locker.
That's awesome. My animated my DVD set of the animated series came in like a Foot Locker that opened up and everything.
Yeah.
So that is definitely good news. And then you guys are just killing it. I mean, I look forward to I have this guy here just because. I mean, you guys are just killing it with like the gallery pieces.
Yeah,
this is gorgeous. And I know you guys have Baroness that was in the works or
Yeah,
been
we
announced.
solicited Baroness. She looks great. And the next one's going to be Scarlet.
And then you guys have the Snake Eyes and Timbers, another one that's gallery level, right? Not the...
Yes. Yeah, we're doing 2 different versions. One where he's got the black outfit and the silver trim, and he's on snow. And then one where he's got the gray outfit with the black trim, and he's on grass with like some explosions around him. So it's really cool how they did the 2 different versions. But the one's I think one is a Summit exclusive. No, one is a 40th anniversary of Diamond Comics exclusive. So that means it'll be available through comic shops and on our website.
Yep. And then once we're done with this stream, I'll be linking all the Diamond Select stuff at the bottom so everybody can follow and check
Excellent.
you guys
Thank
out and keep posted. And then we got Greg, I guess, with another one. Does Diamond Select Toys have the rights to reissue figures from the lines they are not making now, like Tron, Stargate, Battlestar, Ghostbusters? Lots of cool figs and dials that are hard to find now as people look back.
If we don't have the license, we can't reissue the figures. So Stargate and Battlestar, we haven't had those licenses in a long time. Tron, I think we're not able to make any more Tron figures right now, but maybe in the future. I don't know if that'd be a reissue situation or if it would be new figures, because there are characters we didn't get to do. I'd love to do the new Tron movie, but I'm not sure what the situation is there. Ghostbusters, we can't make action figures right now, but it'd be cool to, again, revisit that in the future. But we'll have to see. I don't know if we'd reissue Ghostbusters like the way they were offered before. Maybe we'd reissue the animated ones just because they were so popular. But it'd be tough to find new ones that we haven't done because we did so many characters.
If they did the Tron movie, a cool little set would be like Daft Punk in their Tron outfit.
That's the figure set I would really definitely love us to do, Daft Punk.
That would be I could imagine the licensing in that, because like I think you're dealing with like Tron, but then you're also dealing with a record label at that point.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, now that they're not making records anymore, I don't know if we'd have to go to them directly or how that would work.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking news, because I was really looking forward to what future Daft Punk was going to be bringing out music wise, because I have seen them live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, during like their second Alive release, that album where they mixed, I think it was like Discovery with their newest one when they had like Robot Rock and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw them live and they were playing in Canada, and they had an airplane hangar, and they had a set of DJs. It was Sebastian and somebody that was playing like old school, like retro 80s style techno that was sounding like stuff you'd hear from like Spy Hunter or just the 80s sound of music.
Okay.
So they would transition to that to a live band, which the band was The Rapture, and they had like a keyboard and stuff. So they went to that live band, and then that band transitioned back to the DJs, and then they transitioned to Daft Punk. So it was like one giant track, which
Excellent.
was pretty awesome. And they were playing in like this giant pyramid that was all lit up with screens and lights, and definitely a good show. And their
jealous.
Outfits are amazing. It's just a cool design of just looking like robots.
Yeah, I know people have made a lot of figures of them, like smaller figures and then the 12-inch figures, but I'd love for us to do something like that, because that'd be great. Not even from Tron, just Daft Punk.
Just Daft Punk in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would actually nail the details, like the studs on the back of their jackets if you do them wearing the leather jackets and stuff like that. That'd be
I bet
awesome.
we could even make them light up if we needed to.
Yeah, Diamond Select, do Tron or do Daft Punk.
Tron. I love the new Tron, so I'd love to do something from there.
Yeah, I love that movie, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, it was all right." I'm like, "What didn't you like about it?" It was a great continuation of the original story, and they captured everything really well.
One of my prized possessions is one of the light up Tron figures from the original from the original toy line from the new movie. So
does it show? Was it just lights up the visor?
Yeah, you have to have it on. There's a switch, and then the visor lights up, and he talks.
Oh, it's like an animated, like sort of like computer. It's
yeah, his face.
But it's like
animated. Shows up. I think a couple different faces show up, and then he says lines. The sound's not great on it anymore, but but it's Jeff Bridges' voice as him as Clue, I think. So I don't know, it's pretty cool. I love that they're not the most posable. They have really bad hips, but
it looks
they're
good.
still pretty cool. Yeah, it looks good. I like the effect.
Definitely cool effect. But all right, so at the questions slowed down, and we're at the 8:35 mark. I don't want to eat up your whole evening, but again, I do thank you, Zach, for taking the time out of your day to jump on my channel and talk about some figures and future releases and all that good stuff. It's always a pleasure. And everybody that's watching, thank you guys for tuning in. Anybody future watching, thank you for watching. And as always, you guys can find all the information for Diamond Select down below. And I want you guys to have the best luck hunting. Keep on collecting and have a beautiful day.